Hi, my name's Tony Pierce, and I own Kingdom Games.
So, Tony, talk about what this store is all about.
So it's all about like gamer culture. We primarily do video games. We do retro all the way back to Atari, and we have a huge selection of old games, refurbished consoles. We also do new games the day they come out, all the way to Switch, PS4, Xbox One. We'll have the new gen consoles the day they come in. We have a nice variety of stuff here. We also do like collectibles, statues, plushes, pretty much any nerdy thing we can get our hands on.
So you opened your store last year. What was it like entering this like kind of a space of retail retro gaming?
It's been interesting. We test every console and controller that comes in, so it's definitely a huge undertaking to get all this inventory ready. But it's been fun. Really good response from the community. People are really happy that there's a locally owned game shop, especially one that does retro stuff. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen a like 40-year-old man about cry in excitement when he sees a Nintendo 64 on the wall.
Right, because I can't think of any store in Mendocino County that has this much variety of retro games. This whole Northern California, you're like the only. Maybe there might be one in San Francisco, maybe, but that's 3 hours south.
There's a couple retro shops around the state. There's some really cool ones. But yeah, we, as far as I know, we're the biggest selection, at least in Mendocino County, and we're the biggest selection in Lake County.
Talk a little bit about how you obtain all this inventory from your NES library all the way to like your PS3 library.
So all of the retro stuff, we get kind of creative sometimes with how we get it. We'll troll like Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes we'll do Craigslist. eBay's a nightmare. Don't buy used stuff online. It's going to be broken. We stopped doing that. People will bring us their collections or their games that they're done with, and then we look at what GameStop pays, and we pay at least 20% more than that. More often than not, we pay more, but at least 20% more. So we get a lot of traffic that way.
It's interesting with retro games, particularly because when you buy on eBay, it's very hard to tell if it's a knockoff unless you actually hold it in your hand and can turn it around and flip it, look at the screws, because sometimes you're actually like risking getting a knockoff when you want like a Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo. You get a Chinese knockoff.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many copies we tried to get of Conker's Bad Fur Day for the Nintendo 64, and there was just so many knockoffs. There was reshells, there was just blatant ripoffs. It's really hard to gauge online if a game's real or not, so it's nice to be able to come into like a real store like this and hold it in your hands and really get to see and check it out.
What are some tricks if people are looking to buy, getting into retro collecting just in general, like to make sure that what you're buying, we'll take NES for example, a legit NES cartridge?
Nintendo is really good with their cartridges. It's almost like, I don't know the term for it, it's like an engraving, but it pops out instead of pops in. There'll be a little number either on the front or the back of the cart, and then there's also serial numbers that'll match. Some Nintendo games will also have a Nintendo stamp on the motherboard itself. So it depends on the console, but pretty much all of the cartridges have little things like that, and we love showing people when they come in like the different tricks to know what they got and what's real.
What's your most valuable retro game in this whole store?
That'd have to be a copy of Earthbound in the box. Yeah.
Is it sealed?
It's not sealed. That would be worth more than my car.
So, and you also have this incredible amiibo wall behind you. Talk a little bit about that.
I do. We have one of the largest amiibo selections in the state. I have yet to find a bigger one. I would love to find a bigger one. I love amiibos. But yeah, we have a huge selection of new and used amiibos, mainly new, and we get all the new ones when they come out. But it's definitely a key talking point of the shop because it's, more than most people have ever seen in one spot.
You also, it's more than just retro games and used games. You carry like stuffed animals, plushies, pops, a lot of collectibles in general.
Yeah, we try to be as diverse as we can. If you're into a game, you might be into collectibles that are along with it. We do posters, and we actually just started doing repairs for systems, controllers, phone, and computer. So we're trying to be like a one-stop shop for all your hobby needs.
Do you have a favorite retro game for Super Nintendo or NES or Sega Genesis that you just love?
I'm kind of basic. I absolutely love Duck Hunt. I will still play like 6 hours straight of that game.
What are some of the challenges in running a brick and mortar store in 2020?
Amazon. Amazon is a curse word. Between all the fakes that you find online, and then having to compete with the new sealed stuff for people that don't have overhead, that's probably our biggest obstacle running a big brick and mortar store. We offer a lot, when it comes to personality and education, not a lot of people know what like data holes are for discs, and we constantly teach people like how to check their games to make sure that they work before they buy it, whether they're buying it from us or someone else. Like there's a huge education piece that we like to do, and then we're also very big with like schools and stuff. So a lot of community outreach. Hopefully that'll help, get us out there.
And if people want to find more information about your store, where can they go?
They can find us on Facebook or Instagram. We're making a Twitter, Kingdom Games Ukiah.
You're also starting just in the baby steps of making an eBay page for your store as well.
Yes. We just started doing eBay sales. Kingdom Games LLC is our eBay. We started posting some of our rare stuff that's kind of hard to move in store, but not our super rare stuff that's like, hey, look at this, like copy of Earthbound in the box.
And then you guys are also going to start having like local tournaments for like Smash Brothers and Street Fighter, that kind of stuff as well, right?
Yes, we actually just, we're mounting a couple TVs. We have an old CRT. We're going to do some old school like GoldenEye 64. We'll do like original Smash Brothers. We're also going to do some new stuff. Like we might do like Fortnite. We'll do the new Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to do weekly tournaments, old games and new games, and it'll be a lot of fun.